What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're discussing the best 5-star weak-footed players. Very important. Huge statistic. Increases that value. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome. We get busy with daily uploads. We give you that premium quality FIFA material in an unorthodox manner, and we take pride in that. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to drop a like on the video, share it with your people, and in the comments, I want to know your thoughts. We're going to give you a top 15. I'm not saying it's going to be highly controversial, but we're going to have some debate. This I am sure of. And also, what list do you want to see? Now that we're getting into the later stages of FIFA, I will screenshot it, throw it here, throw it here, throw it here, and give you a special shout out. I might even hook it up. It is team of the season. Maybe throw down some FIFA points for the boys. Just drop a comment, list that you want to see, or concepts or video that you like to see as we're moving forward into the later stages of the FIFA season. Criteria: must have 5-star weak foot. No icons. Performance based. This is not about value or price point. And I'm prioritizing via impact. That will make sense as the list goes on. Write that down, jot it, put it in your notebook. Let's get started. Class is in session. Ben Yedder. Are we not going to include the original rat? This man led the Turtles every weekend. If you don't know about Ninja Turtles, you missed out on a great time period growing up. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, Linking Logs, Legos. I don't know how much of this translated between the years. You could let me know. Ben Yedder is still one of the most crafty players inside the box. This is inevitable, undeniable. And if you want to rerun or remember, backtrack, I still can't forget the dragbacks of last year. I have nightmares. Left stick OP dribbling machine. Van Bergen, perhaps the most feared super sub. He has to be on this list. Who you gonna call? I wanted to say Ghostbusters, but I felt the cringe, so we're just gonna say you could sub in Van Bergen. And he's pulling out those step overs to make the defenders in the midfield a little more offset, confused, giving you that creativity. This man disrupts what's happening. He could turn it into a hot mess on a summer evening. Quickly, one-man counterattack. These are just facts. Vardy, not my type of player, but I am not going to deny this iteration completely shifted the value and FIFA contribution that Vardy has in this year's installment. With a 5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, a double upgrade, major, massive, huge. This is after he's had a couple Red Bulls, re-energized. Special Jamie Vardy, and easily the best version that we have seen of his foot item. Does not matter about a team of the season. Paulinho, I know this list isn't necessarily about value, but come on, this is pretty ridiculous from a price point perspective. Currently 75,000 coins, and you're getting someone similar, on par, at least competitive, maybe not quite as good as Renato Sanchez or Vidal, but they're in a similar tier. They're not far off. This is flea market levels, but you're still getting a name brand. A designer fire sale. Air Force One, 75% off. Why do we not see him used more often? That's where I'm leaving. Franck Ribéry. His price tag was absurd, but not his output. It's not being questioned. Has that coveted 5-star skill, 5-star weak foot scenario, and it just brought back the years, the nostalgic time periods, whether we're talking FIFA or on the actual pitch, especially considering that we had that front three, the rerun, the reintroduction this year between Robin, Ribéry, and then Lewandowski still is arguably in his prime, perhaps the best striker in the world. Now with the iterations these three players received in FIFA, it reminds me of Bayern Munich, premium quality Bayern Munich. Ryan Kent. Some of you will argue, Mike, he's a changed man. We've seen a progression with maturity. This year's title has made him less of a ruthless bastard. He's not the same guy that he once was. Sure, you can make that argument, but he hasn't lost the ability to be unforgiving, to show no mercy, to be brutal, cutthroat. Inhumane Ryan Kent still exists. You just don't see him as frequently, as often. Stop poking the bear or poking the dog. You're gonna meet him. Half the time you get a normal, productive asset, but then the other half, you get this unleashed, unparalleled. He's a beast among men on the virtual pitch. Don't sleep on Ryan Kent. Sane, complete overhaul. The elephant in the room. The detriment always been the weak foot. Now that you upgraded that, he's always had the kicker to pace. This is your R8. He'll get you an Audi. I don't have a vehicle or a car, and if he gets loosed on the sideline, you are not going to catch him. Sane is explosive. I mean it when I say it. He has got to be one of the fastest players in FIFA 21, especially if you're playing deep through balls or if he's running into space. absolute danger, extreme threat. OR, complete player, thorough. I've played him this year as a holding mid, center mid, an attacking mid, a winger, a striker. We got a preview with the foot freeze version of OR, and now this is the major upgrade from that foot item. And at the end of the day, class is class. Don't make me ruin a cliche right now and say class is permanent. But OR is going to be someone who's impressive, and for whatever reason, I don't feel that he's getting some of the recognition he deserves. This is a pretty special foot item, and he's going to change the way that you play FIFA. And with that high level of versatility, and we know how you have to adapt between high pressure, sitting deeper, different positions. You only have so many players that you can sub in and sub out and maneuver. There's a lot to appreciate. There's a lot to love. There's a lot to gravitate towards with this OR foot item. DEMBELE. Should he be this high? I'm not talking organics. Am I holding on to the results from earlier in the year? We're looking at the competitive season. This was more of a household usage. The 5-5, not fraudulent. I'm not talking about scoring 10 points. This isn't basketball. I just think DEMBELE has it, and you can't make up for that factor. Could he be interchangeable in a different place in the countdown or my list? Probably, but I'm not gonna second guess. This felt right, and this is where he's gonna be. Kevin De Bruyne, nearly identical to his team of the year version, and that foot item. You just get better defensive duties. So there's no reason for us to take a deep dive or to dissect, because we've seen this foot item before. We know what he offers. It's a competitive package. One of the most reliable, well-positioned, well-mannered, perhaps the best passer in FIFA 21. You want someone to spray it? I'm not talking about spray paint. We're not getting out the cans. KDB could do that, no doubt. First time through balls, chip through balls, switch the pitch, change the direction, swap the flow. This man could be a rapper in a different lifestyle. Very competitive, enjoyable player to use. I just don't have a reason to really dive into every single statistical allocation. Neymar. Nasty. It really doesn't even matter if you had the inform, which we're looking at here, or if you had the 91. He has been a presence, he has been a problem, he has been impactful since the beginning of FIFA 21 all the way throughout the end. And we haven't got the team of the season version, but I'm sure that that's incoming any day now. And Neymar gets the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, or the Apple Jacks, the Raisin Bran, the Honeycomb. I might just be naming some of my favorite cereals. You can do that in the comments. I don't think there's a video discussing cereals, maybe not on the YouTube channel, perhaps something for Instagram or Twitter. I could go in. I grew up on the cereal life. You give me some milk and a box of Cheerios, we're gonna make this work. Before you had to be fancy for dates, I was pouring cereal left, right, and central. Constant. You don't need mac and cheese or peanut butter and jelly, even a grilled cheese sandwich or a TV dinner. You just pull out that cereal. People believe. I mean, cereal's up there for a lot of people with pizza. They take it very seriously. Passion. Pure passion. Son, also known as Sonaldo, officially. This guy's a rainbow in FIFA. Marvelous. Perplexed. You need to almost insert some sort of application to describe Son and the unicorn that he has become. That might be a little bit of a stretch, but you just have to have something articulate to apply and attach to the results and the effortless output that you receive from having Sonaldo in your starting 11. He would certainly be higher if it weren't for some of the special players that are incoming or outgoing that are going to be talked about, that we're discussing. Mendy. Do I really need to elaborate? He's the most overpowered foot item and the best fullback in FIFA 21, and EA just gave him a massive upgrade. All of his stats improved. He gave him 5-star skills. How could he not be what he is? His 83 overall has been competitive from day one to current. I just played against him throughout the weekend league, and he was still Mendy. He was still a matchup issue. He was still a lockdown defender. So you've taken that 83 and now you have an 88. Perhaps he should be higher, but I like number 1 and 2. Speaking of, Renato Sanchez, tank in the midfield. Stop playing FIFA or football. Sign this man up for the armed forces. He's unstoppable. Back and forth, track back, push it forward, relentless. He's got a big body type, even though he's only 5'9". Husky, wide shoulders, V taper. You don't want to deal with Renato. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. And my number 1 pick for making an NBA draft, a tall, most complete player in FIFA currently. Tell me that I'm wrong, or I'm misleading, or that's not something you agree with. I'd love to hear your counter argument. He's arguably the best player in every position on the virtual pitch outside of the goalkeeper role. So in 10 different positions, he might be your best center back, fullback, midfielder, winger, attacker, striker, and he's only 800,000 coins. How do you describe Atal? Is he broken? Is he the most overpowered? Is he just next level? God tier? The creme de la creme? I'm listening. What are we attaching to him? What do we give Atal? I'd still say he's the most complete, maybe the most dynamic, prolific, can literally do everything. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to your comments regarding my list, my choices, and then also future video suggestions and concepts that you'd like to see on the channel. I still need to put together some sort of networking series on the channel. It's one area that I've probably struggled to a certain degree, and I have so many friends within the community that I get on with, that I could have on this outlet, and I just haven't really figured out what am I bringing out, what makes the most sense, where we get a good vibe, it's something you want to watch, and it's just a quality collaboration. There's natural integration. Anyways, you get the idea. I'm not going to hold you up. We upload daily. Turn on those notifications. Hit the bell. I mean the LaBelle. And I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.